Welcome back to another episode of the Mendable podcast. I'm your boy G, and with my co-host Atoro.
You gonna make it.
Yeah.
Keep your head up. You're a king. You're a queen. You got this. Sleepless grandma.
Yes, sir. Welcome to another episode of the Mendable podcast. I'm your host G, back with another episode here with my co-host Satoru. Today we have a very special guest, my brother from another mother. Man, I don't even know how to describe this guy. He represents so much. King Murphy. Please, can you introduce yourself and tell, and just explain, who you are and what you do?
All right, appreciate you. My name's Murphy Baya, a.k.a. Drizzle, Ottawa's finest.
Let's get it.
I appreciate you, G, for having me in this podcast.
Oh, for sure, bro.
I'm ready to go whenever you are.
Yeah, man. It was only the time, when I started this podcast, I remember, I was looking. I just had an idea. I already just knew who I wanted to bring to the podcast. You as my brother, we're family, we're tight, you know what I mean? And most people who know me knows we're boys, you know what I mean? But I don't want to, today it's about you, I want you to share your story and tell us who you are. But first and foremost, I want to thank God for giving us this opportunity to be here and allow us to do this. Is there anything you want to say, Atoro, before we move forward?
So this is episode 31, and it's the start of a new season 3.
Yeah.
And we're looking to add in some new things and change up a little more. So we're very happy to have Murphy here for the season 3, and we're also happy to be trying new things, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the way that we normally start every episode whenever we have a guest, the question's usually all the same. So the question that we want to ask you, Murphy, is to tell us about your background and your upbringing, if you don't mind. Share it.
Oh, for sure. So I'm Congolese. I was born in Kinshasa, Congo, Democratic Republic. And I don't have much memories of living there.
Yeah.
But I was only there till I was maybe 3-4 years old.
Sheesh.
And it was just me and my brother Brian at the time. So me and my mom and my dad, we just flew to New York first, but we were only there for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Then we flew back to Atlanta, Georgia, and then that's where I grew up from.
Jeez. It's funny because people when people see you, they don't have no idea that you're actually from the States. You actually grew up in the States. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I grew up there first.
Yeah. Because you moved from back home young, super young. You know what I mean? And even now, as a basketball star you are, I don't wanna say that in introduction. But so growing up in the state, and I don't wanna get too ahead of myself. And then what age did you leave the States to come here?
I was currently still in grade 8, so almost finishing grade 8. I had 2 months left, so that was probably
14 years old.
13 maybe.
Yeah, 13, 14, yeah.
Yeah, that's when I came here.
Did you finish grade 8 or?
I finished grade 8 here.
Oh, you came here, then you start
Ottawa.
grade 9 here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's already a big transition. Of course, you don't remember at the time when you moved from Congo to the States. Mm-hmm. And but you clearly remember coming from the Atlanta to here in Ottawa.
Yes, sir.
Right? So it's a big transition because I remember me coming from Angola, Africa, straight to here to Ottawa. You know what I mean? And I was 13 years old. So kind of the same time as you. That's why our story could really, it's very relatable. So like, can you tell us your experience in the state and then coming here and it's totally different?
My experience in the States kind of a blur. I kind of remember like towards the end, not
Yeah.
so much of the beginning and the middle, but like towards the end, like me just going to school regularly, like there was nothing wrong with that, but like the energy that you sense from like all the other kids was just
Yeah.
like they have something to prove every day, showing up to school, and a lot of people in Ottawa sees me as a
Quiet
quiet guy.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
see,
yeah.
oh, Murphy, oh, that quiet guy. But in the States, I was actually the loudest guy, the loudest guy there. But I always get in trouble, you know.
It's hard to believe, man. You know what I mean? The person you
Yeah.
are, to say I was a trouble kid in the state, and here you turned out to be somebody different.
That's because as a young kid, like just leaving the States and coming here, I asked my mom why. And then she just said it's a better place for us to go. Trying to get you guys to have a good life here. And I actually took that in. Some kids will probably just
better
like,
opportunities.
some kids will actually just like
Not
hear it,
listen
go
to-
one ear and go
yeah,
out.
yeah.
So I just took it out. Like, okay, so my mom was working hard, and I know what the feeling
And-
is of working hard, and I don't want to ruin that for her.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me, I was like, you know what? I'll just try to be in my best behavior while I'm here in Canada, so my mom can get what she wants to do while she's here. But at the same time, I could do my thing, but staying out of trouble.
So do you think, because I think I wanted to touch that later on, your behavior in the state, it was more because the reality there, or because having just a single mom, no dad present, you think that was part of it also?
I would say that.
Yeah.
But my dad was there.
Oh, your dad was the part a little bit in the
He was
in the
part
States?
a little bit.
In the States, okay.
And when he was gone, I had no idea he was gone. He was just, I haven't seen him in a month. And I asked my mom, and he's like, yeah, he's back in Africa. I was like, oh, wow. And then from there, I just kept living my life.
Oh, you just ignore the fact that he was gone and no communication, nothing?
No communication until like couple years by. Yeah.
Okay.
So, going back, what year were you born in?
1994.
Okay, you said you came from Congo. So I believe that we interviewed a group of three brothers.
Three brothers, yeah.
Yeah, they came from.
Nice production. Nice production.
Nice production.
The ones who did my wedding.
Uh,
Those three brothers with
Video
the photo shoot
production
for the brand.
company.
I kind of remember. I just can't
John,
picture my-
remember John?
Oh, those guys. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Nice production, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, so what they explained in terms of the reasoning for them leaving their country is that there was some sort of political crisis going on in their country, and that they had to escape because they're escaping death pretty much because of
it was that time. It was
Yeah. So I'm just looking to know, what was the reasoning towards you leaving your country?
I'd never really asked why we left Africa, but one of the hints that my mom gave me, she's like, there was one day where me and my brother and her almost got hit by a missile one day. Like it just shot right through our room and then
Also,
out
there
to
was
the next.
war during that time?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
just
that's
like-
going to be one of the reasons? Oh, okay, I see.
pretty much what you were just mentioning
Yeah,
earlier.
okay.
So I just thought, okay, so I'm assuming that's not the reason. I didn't really ask much
Yeah, yeah,
questions heading towards there, but I just assumed I was like, that's the
Yeah.
reason. I was like, wow, I almost died early.
Murph, I think for you, your story could get even deeper if you're starting to really find out, like, you done going back and start really asking your mom, like, yo, tell me more about my childhood, my past, not the state, like Africa, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Tell me more. You could go even deeper. It could maybe show you who the person you are, to face so many adversity and then act like nothing happened. You just keep moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of us like are coming from places like back home, not a well developing country like Canada. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't know what we actually experience there. You know what I mean? You come here to a culture shock, so and then not realizing, or not even realizing, not remembering what you actually went through, and see their experiences, and you come here in a new place where everything is different from back home. You kind of have no idea the stuff that you already face, and you're so mentally strong, but you don't know how you became to that point. You know what I mean? So it's good. You know, get sometimes to just really, and that's something that I started doing. Like asking my mom, like, "Yo, how was it?" But I was one of those kids that like have a good memory from like my early childhood. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Right. So you left Congo at a really young age. You went to the States. How long were you at the States for?
So we got there in 1999 and then left 2008. I would say so.
Okay.
I would say 1997 too, because my brother was born in 1998 there. So I would say 97 to 2008. So 10 years kind of.
Okay, so you got a pretty good time there in the States.
Yeah.
There's a saying that a lot of who you are is formed during your childhood, right? So I'm sure you have reflected, of your past. And if you don't mind, can you tell me like some of the things that you picked up from your past that you sort of still continue to hold to yourself, like in terms of your skills that you build on from while you were very young?
I think it's more of the time we were in the state where we're super young. You can actually remember, right?
Yeah, that's a good question. One of the skills that I use today, I guess my sense of like awareness.
Right. So what I'm trying to get to is like, what are some of your fundamental skills or fundamental passions that you develop when you're young that you're still continuing till this day?
Basketball?
I would say sports, because when I was in the States, I played a lot of sports. So the
So
passion
it's
to
just one sport?
I would say the passion to just work. You know, no matter what objectives in front of me, I'm going to put 100% effort going into whatever I'm doing. You know, because that's how I play. That's how when I do homework. That's how I live my life. When I talk to people, I talk to them straight up. Like, I give them 100% energy. Like, I'm being genuine. So I would say that's probably one of the skills I picked up that I'm still doing now.
Just being very present.
Yeah, one of the things that I also noticed when you're talking about, really completing and seeing something through is that a lot of us that come from very poor upbringing, in that kind of sense, we sort of know that there's really no other way but to really push it through and really see something through to the very end, because if we don't, then we don't really see what the next day is. We don't. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's no plan B.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm guessing that you learned at a very young age that in order for you to accomplish something, you really got to see it all the way through.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to lie to you, at a young age, because I would watch a lot of things on TV. And then one of the things that stood out to me was like anime. And my favorite show was Naruto. And
that's a lot of
no, but like the key words, if you watch it, the key words that he always says is, "I'll never give up."
yes.
And it shows. And then me just listening to that is like, he's like, wow, he's going through all these objectives, fighting through all this, and he's always saying, "I'll never give up." And then there's results, and then he's always getting results through every action or every encounter that he has. And that's one of the things that I learned to embrace from starting with that. And then as I started to get into more basketball, Kobe Bryant was more like my idol, and that's kind of like how he
introduced you to the sport.
How did you get introduced to the sport of basketball?
Well, my cousin was huge on basketball. He's from Belgium, so they came to visit us.
And this is early back when you were in the States?
This is when I was in the States still. So he came and we had a court in my house, but I was just there just shooting. And then he said, "Yo, we should play a game." And I'm over here thinking, "Oh, well, okay, sure, we can play.
fun, right?
I'm
It's
better.
for you, just fun, right?
I'm better than this guy."
Yeah.
So when he starts to play, he was
Amazing.
able to dribble the ball. Like, this guy was killing me in every single way, and he was talking. I'm like, wow, I do not want to lose this guy. I don't want to lose to this guy again when I see him.
So that made you work on your game like crazy.
Just seeing someone that was just better than me,
Same
just
age, same height.
same age, taller than me by a little.
Oh, okay.
And just seeing someone that was better than me, I just used that as a motivation to just go hard, no
So
matter
that made
what.
you get into the sport like
Yeah,
more.
and I always talk to myself too when I'm working out. I'm like, he's like, "Man, I could do more." I'd be like, "What?" He's like, "This guy, he could probably do this much." So I try to do more than that.
So there was like this voice of telling you, "Yo, you want to become better? You gotta do this. You gotta do this
You
and
gotta do
this every
this,
time."
that.
Maybe every time you thought of like giving up, you thought of him. And the next time I see him, I gotta beat him.
Thought of him. I thought of what would Naruto say.
Yeah, never give up.
All
That's
these things.
what's up,
What
bro.
would Kobe do? I'm like, yo,
The mama
gotta keep
mentality.
going.
Yeah, what's the mama mentality means to you, Murph?
I mean, it means a lot of things. Like the love you have for the game.
Yeah.
It means like connecting with other people. And it just means also just never giving up, fighting
Yeah.
through adversity.
Always finding ways to get better.
Always
man.
fight. There's
That's
always
one thing I know about you, man.
there's always a way. You just gotta
Bro.
grind through it, man.
Right. So as kids, we're normally just experimenting, seeing what we're interested in, and just trying many new things and stuff of that nature. Obviously, you mentioned basketball, you mentioned anime. Were there any other things that you were deeply passionate about and you're just trying out while you were young before you just
Like when
fully focus on basketball?
When I was living in the States, I was living in this Latino / Mexican area. So a lot of them would like to play soccer. So I was like, I might as well play, right? See
Yeah.
what the sport is. And I actually loved playing it. I was like, wow. They were showing me all these tricks, and it was actually pretty cool. And I never actually played on a team. I just always play for fun. So I would do that. We would play baseball. We would play football. All those things.
What was the one thing about basketball that got you deeply passionate about it?
Deeply passionate. I don't know. I feel like it's just, I don't know, when I touch the ball and start dribbling, it just feels nicer than, just kicking the ball around. Like, it just feels like when I started dribbling, it just felt like this is something I was meant to do.
Right. So out of all the sports and out of all the things that you did, basketball just felt most natural to you. Okay.
And I think with the height too, you started growing like your height, right?
Yeah, I was just like 6'2" when I was in grade 8.
Yeah. See, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
And you were getting older, you were getting taller.
Yeah, I felt
Right.
like if I would, for some reason, I had this idea in my head that if I stayed in the States, I might have been even six something from whatever I was eating over there.
Yeah, I think so.
And then
too.
when I came
I think
here,
I believe that.
I only grew 2 more inches. I was like, what?
Okay. Because you were already
I was already tall at the time.
like how tall? Like 6'1"?
6'1", 6'2". And right now I'm stuck at 6'3", 6'4".
Man, that's still tall, man. Look at me, man. I'm
Yeah,
five. I'm 5'11", low key. You know what I mean?
Given the fact that you mentioned Kobe Bryant as your inspiration and the person that inspired you to with basketball, did you sort of develop a plan in order to emulate his path towards the NBA? Is that one of your goals and desires?
Yeah, like this is an idea that I had starting in grade 10, I believe. I had a talk with myself. I was like, all right, if I want to get to where I want to be, what do I need to stay away from, and what do I need to focus on? So I was just like, all right, I got to make sure my grades are good. I got to make sure I'm in the gym every day, getting my shots up, and then getting to all these clubs that I can get noticed. Noticed from.
Club teams. Yeah.
Bro, it's crazy because even when I was in school, I was doing everything for basketball too. Like one of my projects, I made a Larry O'Brien trophy.
Yeah.
I made a Larry O'Brien trophy, but on the team that I wanted to play for, which was Atlanta.
Yeah.
So I had like the whole Atlanta, the logo, all that stuff in it.
Manifesting your dreams.
And then I put
to
the
reality.
and then I put the date where I was gonna win the championship too. I didn't even put 2000. I think it was 2012 or 11 when I was working on it. I put like 2015, 2016, something like that. I say, yeah, this is what's gonna happen on this year.
Yeah, big dreams, man. So, yeah, Murph. So one of the things that I actually wanted to touch on, how we met, because I think how we met, I think, because me, I used to be all over the place,
I used to see you on my way to school every time, and this is before you would even
Go to Algonquin.
go to Algonquin.
Yeah.
You'd just be outside the crib, and I just like, oh.
On your way to school, like you would see me in the neighborhood.
Yeah, like parked on that side, and I just walk and take that little, what's that called?
Oh, a
Alley
shortcut.
like that.
Yeah, the alley on that side. You used to go that way, take the bus.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
It's either that way or the other way.
because
Whichever
at
one.
that time, I was dating this girl that lived on Murphy's neighborhood. It's ghetto. It's still ghetto neighborhood, Russell. So, and I think at that time I was all over the place. I knew a lot of people. I was playing ball, very well known. But I was that one neighborhood where he lived. I was there almost every day. And not only I went to see my girl, there was people there that I knew. You know what I mean? So when I was in the neighborhood, if I'm not with my girl, I'm out there in the basketball court or like I'm around just chilling. But I was there most of the times, and I would see Murphy all the time. And it's crazy how it's a small Ottawa, it's a small place too, right?
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, once I started going to Algonquin, he was already at Algonquin. And then started playing ball. That's how we met. But how we met, when we met, it's like we knew each other for a long time. You know what I mean? It was so organic. And then we just became tight since then. Like since my first year on the team.
We'll work out together.
Yeah.
Shoot around.
We'll go out. You know what I mean? Man, there's some things that we can't share here in the podcast. You know what I mean? But yeah, me and Murphy go way back. But the reason behind that is how you're able to connect with people. You know what I mean? How you're so friendly and people feel that energy around you that just want to be around you. And then we were just talking about that off camera, how like the connections that you have, the people you meet, you have like everywhere we hang out for home out. I was very, very well known too. And with you knowing so much people, you know what I mean, you feel secured, knowing that Murphy's good people, like you want to be around Murphy. Good energy. None of that like BS, none of that stuff. So Murphy, like how you made into that, how you became that person, just being like so friendly, having so much friends, and knowing your type of crowd, because you know people, like you were saying off camera. Can you like explain that?
So, how this all came about is, I mean, I was always like open to like conversations, but remember I was a shy guy, like going through Algonquin in my high school.
Right.
And
being new in the country too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I started developing that skill even better when I moved into Calgary.
Okay.
Football.
Okay.
So then one of my teammates
That's where you currently live right now, Calgary. Yeah.
And one of my teammates was just like what you just said, very outspoken and just open to other people.
Yeah.
And I just watched how he interacted with everybody else and how they felt his energy.
Yeah.
And how they just wanted to be around him because he's just so fun, right?
Yeah.
So then I learned from that, and then we both started doing it all together, and it was just like the crowd that we drew in. It was just amazing.
Yeah, it just became natural. It's something that you feel like, that's me. right?
And now when I go out, I just talk to people and just try to connect,
Right.
see what their life is like, and see what I can learn.
And then
You
that's one of the most difficult skills, man. Like now to learn, like when people like when I do those like little clips online, like a little me videos, just me speaking out of nowhere, me just comfortable. Imagine like I wasn't that person. I wasn't comfortable like that. I wasn't comfortable just speaking out loud. I remember like presentations in class.
Yeah, same here.
Man, bro, that was hard for me because I wasn't confidence or that I didn't have that self esteem. It wasn't as that, but as you grow up, you get to learn about yourself, like I was deep into my self development, getting to know myself. I started realizing like one thing special about me, you know what I mean? Like once you start really getting to know yourself and then you fall in love with yourself, you be comfortable in your own skin, it's a whole another game, man. It's a whole another ball game because you just comfortable. You be you. Now you comfortable to speaking out loud, hearing your voice because some people don't want to hear themselves. You know what I mean? So then you just like I became to that point. You know what? Yo, I'm gonna share the person I'm becoming. I'm gonna share who I am so I can maybe I can motivate somebody for them to be themselves too. You know what I mean? So man, like I love who you becoming. As a man. I know you for a long time now, Murphy. And one thing that I respect about you that man, you still the same person I met. You know what I mean? And you're just evolving, becoming even better. You know what I mean? That's a lot of respect because people wants to get to a certain stage in their life or even the awards that you got, like for being the type of basketball star that you are, some people get into their heads, you know what I mean? But you never change. You stayed humble. You stayed the same guy that I know, you know what I mean? You stay respect people the same way. Nothing changed, you know what I mean? Even being the man on a basketball team, not just here in Ottawa, and Calgary also, you know what I mean? Winning 2 championships in a row, you know what I mean, yo? And for you to still be on those 2 championships, being the best player on the team, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people will get into their heads, bro. You know what I mean? So that's not something easy for you to just like, you know what? Basketball doesn't, it represents me, but I won't allow that to control, you know what I mean? The awards or whatever, the play, I won't allow that to control who I am.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I feel like that's a good way to say it because I feel like if me won all those awards, like you said, I'm still being the same me, but to be, it's just like a piece of object to me. Is how I see it, and even if it wasn't, it's like to me to be kind of a jerk to somebody, it just doesn't feel right to me at all. Like even if I was to act like I stuck up, it just wouldn't feel right to me.
Yeah.
So I just don't do it.
Because I remember.
Wait,
I remember.
Go ahead,
let me just finish this point.
Yeah.
I remember like my first year on the team, you were like the best player on the team, but you didn't act like I'm the best player on the team. You work harder than everybody. Man, bro. And for you to be like the best player on the team and still doing the little things people want to do, like working hard, showing me. Like, remember I was telling you about like stretching before the game, stretching after the game. There's things like, like taking care of your body because avoiding injuries and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I see you doing that. Me, I was a young, like me, I just come through, put my shots up, and I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? I see you take that you had a certain routine, stretching with the dance before a game and then stretching after the game. It's just like you just knew, you know what I mean? The knowledge, like you're not only preparing for just today, you're preparing way ahead, you know what I mean? So it was just mad respect. I pick up right away, you know. Yeah, you go ahead.
Right. So you mentioned about being shy, which I would assume that probably had some effect in you making friends. Do you think that you're moving? Of course, you only said you moved from Congo, U.S. and then Canada. There's a big gap between U.S. and Canada, yes, but there are also other moves here and there. Do you think that your moving around sort of affected your ability to make friends and developing socialization skills?
I would say so because me moving to Calgary, I'm pretty much by myself. I don't know anybody else. So I had no choice but to open up to other people. But at the same time, it was kind of a struggle because I felt like, oh, am I doing this right? Or am I being too clingy, this and that? I had all these thoughts running, but I came to a point, right now I came to a point where it's just like, it doesn't really matter what I say if they take it how it is. I'm just going to be me approaching you, and then you just take it however
Yeah.
you want.
Right. So sports has this ability of sort of uniting a group of people with many differences in a sense, even for those that usually are shy in that sense. So how has sports sort of helped you to socialize a lot more and develop or just make new friends?
It helps a lot because you travel with them, you room with them, and you're practicing and you're playing games with them. So that bond that you build on and off the court is something that you can't normally do. Like if you were to talk to somebody else, like normally off a street and try to build a bond like how you build in sports, it's kind of different because it hits deep. It hits deep, you know, because then we have conversations that you normally don't have. And as being a team leader, I talk to each individual and see like what they're trying to gain from this and that. If they need any help, if they're struggling with the plays, or if they want to get some shots up, and I give them pointers here and there.
Right, and specifically focusing on the game of basketball. Sure, one individual player could have a major influence, but that individual player can't win by himself. So, speaking in terms of like the team, how do you sort of like, you sort of mention it, but how do you sort of bring the team together in order to focus on one specific goal in terms of working together as a team to win a specific basketball game?
I feel like that all starts early. If you make a early statement at the beginning of the season, that way everybody knows the objective. They won't follow you if you say it later on, but if you approach it with some energy at the beginning, then people will know what they're here for, and they'll put their energy towards that. So, which meaning getting in the gym, because like every year, all the players that come in, I say, yo, I'm here for a championship, nothing less. So right away, their mentality is like, okay, we're here to win championships. Okay, so I gotta work on my game to get better, and if you need help with that, you can always talk to me. You can always talk to the other veterans that are on the team or that retire, that can give you some pointers.
Yeah, so this question sort of goes back to the same question I asked earlier. But like, given the fact that there's so many different players with different views and different set of ideas in terms of their approach on the game, sort of like the question is like, how do you sort of get different personalities all to work together?
It's all a sacrifice. It's once each individual understands, like, because there could be one person that's hard-headed, one person that could be known as a scorer, didn't want to pass the ball.
Yeah.
But as soon as everybody understands that sacrifice, because it's crazy, because we always have problems like during the season with that. But then as soon as playoff hits, everybody's like locked in. Everybody's sacrificing what they normally do.
Yeah.
Just for one goal.
That's it, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't mean to be taking too much of the
you're
time
fine, man.
asking questions, but going back to high school, okay, you were at the point where you were drafting projects specifically related to basketball. You drew you winning a championship with the Atlanta Hawks. So can you continue your story in terms of like where you were going with that?
Oh, like going with.
You're basically explaining what your career path would be after high school or something.
Oh, like cause like when I drew the trophy and anything, I
Yeah.
had like designs, 2015, 2016. That was where I was gonna be. Like I was gonna be on the Atlanta Hawks team in the NBA, winning a championship on that year. So that's kind of like a goal that I set for myself in high school.
Yeah.
And I guess towards that year, I made a second goal. I was like, okay, so if I can't get anything with basketball, what are the things that I like to do that I can get into school with? So I started thinking about that. Okay, I like to draw, I like to design, I like video games. So I looked up, I researched programs at Algonquin, and I happened to come across game development and game design. And I went into taking those courses, which were pretty hectic at the start, but it's all like repetition. Once it's like learning another language, so it's all repetition. Once you understand what you're doing, then it's all it's all good to go from there.
Yeah, so I think going back to like high school, like towards the end, you already had like an idea. Of course, the idea was to be playing professional basketball, right? And was it easier to make a decision of what you wanted to do in college, like what program to take? Because you said about the game development. Was it easy, or you knew right away that's what you were gonna take?
Oh no, it wasn't easy at all. Cause going into my last year of high school, it wasn't a thought in my head. I wasn't really thinking about what I wanted to do in high school or college. But all my classmates would talk about it, and then my mom brought it up, and then I was like, okay, if my mom's bringing it up, then I kind of have to decide and see what am I looking to do, right? And then that's when I decided to have that conversation with myself and see what I like to do.
Yeah.
And then did my research to see what school had that program.
And Algonquin had that program. So that's how you actually end up going to Algonquin.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. That's cool. So you go to Algonquin and you played 2 years?
3.
3 years. Played 3 solid years as a rookie. The second year, that was with me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your second year, that's when you were just starting to taking over.
You and Big Pat.
Big Pat, legend. Yo, Big Pat, if you're watching this episode, bro, hear me, man. We need you, bro. We need you.
Come lock in with us.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so your second year, that's when I joined, and you took over. Your third year, you had a really strong year. So you feel, what was your best year at Algonquin?
I would say my last year there.
Last year?
Because it was kind of like a payback year.
Okay.
Because my second year, you should probably know, we had a lot of ups and downs, but mostly
a lot
downs.
Of injuries.
Mostly downs, and I kept getting hurt, but I still played through it. But I felt like
you were.
I could have played better if I didn't have anything holding me back.
Right.
So then after the second year, that whole summer, I was just focusing on my body. I'll be honest, I barely even like played much. I just focused on just strengthening my body, and I play a lot of tournaments, but in terms of working on my handles and getting shots up, I didn't really do much of those. I just focused on just preventing my shoulders
Injuries.
and my legs, my knees from taking the blows.
Yeah.
And then once that year came, I was ready to go.
And you had a pretty good year.
Yeah.
And then moving forward, the opportunity came to the table. You got a scholarship to go to Calgary. And I say that was like a life changer for you, because you end up going to Calgary and you win 2 championships in a row.
Yeah.
and you find a home there. You decided to stay there because this is just like a place where you see yourself living in, and where you connect with so much people. And now Calgary, it's your home. Can you tell us about your experience in Calgary?
Well, one of the main reasons why I moved to Calgary was because
They give you a shot opportunity, a full scholarship. Was it a full scholarship?
it was a full scholarship, but I didn't really care about that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go to a team that wanted to win because I felt like Algonquin, there was a lot of players that didn't care about winning. They were just there.
True story. It's true. I agree with that.
So when I went to Calgary, I just needed one or two guys that wanted to win, and then my guy John Smith, rest in peace to his soul.
Rest in peace, man.
He showed me he was a hardworking guy, amazing basketball player, and the conversations me and him had there, I was like, yeah, this is the guy that I want. This is the guy that I want to work hard with, pull out my engine, because I know he'll have I know he'll do the same.
Yeah.
And sure as you know, as I came there, it was kind of I was kind of nervous at first because it was just me and him. I didn't know anybody else, so I just had to gradually build connections with other people. But
So you and him connected right away.
mm-hmm.
Kind of like me and you, like from the get go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Because I could feel he had the same Mamba mentality too, and I was like, oh yeah, this guy's a killer.
Yeah. So,
Because I told him
You're good.
I told him I was like, I got really good defense. You got really good offense. We can work with each other and make each other better every day.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been doing. Going to the gym 1-on-1. We just work. Every time he hit me up, like I've never said no anytime he told me to come to the gym. There'll be some lazy days, and then I'll just be laying there. He'll call me. He'll be like, yo, Murphy, let's get it. And then I'll just look at the time. I'll just be like, all right.
Let's get it.
All right, because I don't want this guy to be better. I don't want this guy to be any step better than me. So
Yeah, man.
that's
it's
how I
the
saw it. I was
comparative
like,
spirit
man, I don't
that
want
you
this guy
have.
getting better than me. So I'm gonna get up.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. It's the competitive spirit that you are, and then knowing not only that you have somebody like him that he has so much talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you knew, like you can be this guy can be putting more work than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's good that he push you and you push him. You know what I mean? And that explains a lot how you guys won 2 championships in a row, and the team still currently 5 years in a row.
Yeah, we're 5 straight right now, going
So
on to 6.
a good shout out to the Trojan Saints, man. 5 years in a row.
Yes, sir. Got the bracelet right here.
Yeah, man. That's not easy to do. Okay, so Murphy now, so so you were saying your experience getting to know and connecting with the rest of your teammates in Calgary. So how about how you fall in love with the city? Because until this day, you won't come back here. Now, of course, you'll come back to visit.
Yeah.
But your mind is there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Even though your family's here, but you just don't see yourself living here in Ottawa. So what is about Calgary that made you fall in love with the city?
It's just that the vibe is.
So when we say Calgary, is that the main part? Where in the main part in Calgary you live in?
I'm in Calgary. I just live Capitol Hills.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, Calgary is just a good vibe, man. Especially because right away, it's so weird. Right away that I get there,
Yeah.
my assistant coach is a DJ to most of these clubs.
Jeez.
So already I'm getting put on by him,
Yeah.
and then I begin.
So he's gonna giving you guys shout out on the mic. Yeah.
He gets us up there in the mic, and we're up there in the mic too. We're
Okay.
jamming. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, this is different.
Yeah.
And then you get like random people on the streets, like just coming up to us, just trying to have conversations with us, saying, "Yo, you guys are on the basketball team. Hey, I run this shoe store. If any of you guys are looking to get shoes, I'll give you a discount on this."
Wow.
Like, it's
Just
the kind
like
of
that.
vibes that we get
Yeah.
when I'm there. And then the party life, wow, man, shoot.
And then you think it was easier to connect with people than here?
I wouldn't say
Because it's
easy.
smaller place than here, right?
It's kind of big. I wouldn't
Probably.
say it was easy. It's just that I got better at connecting with people there than how I was here.
Okay. Okay.
But
So, I don't think you answered my question.
No,
like,
I
what's the
definitely
main
didn't.
reason that made you know what? Yo, I'm staying here. I'm not coming back even after your school.
well, I mean, the girls
Okay, you gotta say that. That's
Winning.
That, okay, that's what's up. Yeah,
You know.
winning.
just what's
Lifestyle.
like the acknowledge that we get as being a Trojan. Like when I came there, people thought we sucked, but then now that since we've been winning,
No, they used to suck though. Before you,
like
they
they
used to
sucked.
suck.
They only won
Yeah.
4 games when I got there,
Sheesh.
and then
For
now-
you to win the championship that year, that's
I know.
huge.
And then now people see us like, oh God, it's the
Now
same
people
boys.
actually want to go there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then all the college teams that are around that area hate us now because they're winning championships and taking their girls.
That's cool, bro. And so now, like, what's your plans in terms like it's just gonna be like for like your plans for basketball and your plans on in terms like will you ever go back, come back here in Ottawa, or like and your plans for basketball, of course, is still you're still working towards to maybe go play overseas and stuff like that. So what are your plans right now and your goals?
Well, right now I have a contract to play in Jamaica in October, so that's pretty much this month coming up right now.
Okay.
And I'm just waiting for my flight to be booked. I'll be there for 7 weeks. Everything's gonna be paid for, all that. And then once that's over, I'm talking to my coach in Calgary right now. He's pretty much like our manager for FIBA.
Okay.
So he's been looking to get us in any 3-on-3 tournaments. I don't know if you've seen the 3-on-3 tournaments that they be having around the world. So
No,
like
all I know is about the big three.
there's a FIBA 3x3. I don't
Oh,
know
wow.
if you've seen that one.
I never seen that one.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So he's so pretty much right now what Canada is doing is they're trying to find a Team Canada. So they're hosting all these tournaments
Okay.
to pick the best Canada team to take
3-on-3.
on that 3-on-3.
Okay. So you see yourself playing that league 3-on-3?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So that's huge. Tell us about more about the contract you got in Jamaica. Who got you that connection?
Well, my buddy hit me up one day and he's like, I want you to come to this run. All the best hoopers are gonna be here. So I was like, you know what, you hit me right there, like, best hoopers. I'm like, sure, I want to go play with them and see what they're like, right? So then I went to this run, and it was like the majority of the guys I already knew, and then we were just hooping, and I was just doing my thing,
Yeah.
killing everybody. And then the coach was, after the whole run, the coach came up to me and was like, yo, what's your name? He's like, yo, I really like your game, man. He's like, yo, I have this thing in Jamaica. You should come try it out. I was like, perfect. I ain't doing nothing.
Nice. It's a big
So
opportunity.
that's kind of like how I got started.
Yeah.
And right now I'm just keeping in contact with the coach, just seeing how everything's going there, what team am I going to be on, what's it going to be like,
Yeah.
and excited for the opportunity to become a professional hooper.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so we had a previous guest. He's also I would say, is a professional basketball player.
Yeah.
His name is Kevin the Hero.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with him?
Also, we
Yeah.
had Neville Gilmore.
Yeah.
Gilmore.
Is it
Yeah.
name Gary Gallimore?
Yeah, Gary.
Yeah.
Neville's his brother. Sorry,
Yes.
Gary Gallimore. Yeah.
Right. He happened to mention a couple of things that you need as like a free agent basketball player in order for you to get seen, in order for you to get deals. So I might be mistaken, but some of the things that he mentioned is that you need an agent who can make those connections, call people, and that kind of thing. You need a highlight tape,
That's right.
Yeah.
right? And is there anything else I'm missing? But those are some of the things that he mentioned.
I would say a basketball resume.
Yeah.
That'd be one too.
Yeah.
I just pretty much have.
He has all of that, but I don't know if you have an agent.
I don't have an agent just yet,
Okay.
but we'll see if I get one when I go to Jamaica. So
Right.
Right. So focusing on the game of basketball, so much of it is repetitive, right? So for a lot of players, whenever they hit their physical peak, right, everything sort of remains the same. So what tends to certain players, what tends to sort of separate them from the rest, from the average, is their mindset, right? So what sort of mental training have you done to sort of separate yourself from others in terms of your mental abilities?
because my mental training is like just the ability to push through things.
When it gets hard.
Yeah, when the going gets tough, like most of my workouts I always add like a superset. It's like, and adding a superset for me is just like something to like push me to go harder while this is already burning, right?
To challenge yourself. Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of what's helping my mentality. But at the same time, I always have that voice on my head that's gonna tell me to go harder.
Don't ever give up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So for a lot of players in sports, doing things is very easy, but once you're fatigued, that's when you sort of start making a lot of mistakes. So what kind of training do you do when you're under extreme fatigue to avoid mental mistakes
Mistake.
and physical mistakes as well, just when you're tired?
So like I be doing hill trainings that I be doing with these guys,
Yeah.
or I be doing trainings where I'm just like running. So let's say somebody's rebounding for me, and I'm just shooting top of the key shot. So I'm running from one end, coming back from the top of the key, catching on a shot. So I'll do that 10 times and then misc it up, add some like ball handling drills going into it, and then pretty much a lot of like movements, like workouts that involve like you just moving around.
Like in-game speed.
In-game speed, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So much of your career as a professional basketball player is relying upon your body. So keeping your body healthy and fit is very important. You mentioned about taking care of your shoulders and your knees. What kind of other trainings do you do to prevent certain types of injuries?
So right now, the way I work out,
You don't really lift weights, something like that.
No, I work out to like strengthen my muscles. So like strengthen areas to like build around the bone. So
Lower end?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So right now I've been working on my knees because I've been getting earlier I've been having problems around my knees, but that's because I never actually worked out my quads and my hamstrings and these parts right here.
Your hips.
So ever since I've been starting that, like my knees have been great. So it all matters like how you take care of your body. And you just gotta understand like what it needs, and that's part of the process. It's just understanding your body and what you need to work on.
That's true, because I want to share a little bit of that, because not understanding how my body was, and I think when you're young, you do a lot and you recover so fast,
Yeah.
right? And that's something I got used to it. Now, as I got older, because I didn't have the great habits of like stretching, like I was saying earlier, when Murphy was so good at that, consistent, early before games and after games, And I think it got to me to the point where I started having pains out of nowhere. And I had to go and go to physio to try to find out what's that pain. I think Murphy got to the point that he was so ahead of everybody else in terms of like just getting to know his body. Need to like stretch before games and after game, ice baths and stuff like that. So that's stuff that I actually do now. Like I'm big on like stretch. I even do yoga every once in a while because I just know that's really gonna take care of your body, because as when I was young, I was like in the gym like crazy. You see me lifting crazy heavy weights,
Yeah.
and I see you doing some weird exercises. Like, yo, what are you doing? But like now I understand. You know what I mean? Now I understand, because it's not just about lifting. It's about like actually stretching the muscle before you lift. You know what I mean? So that's a big key. Now I'm at this age, 30 years old, making sure, because my body's not healing, like recovering so fast, like
Yeah.
the next day. So yeah, man.
So having played basketball for as long as you have, you've experienced a lot of ups and downs. Basically, for providing like a type of like a real life experience in terms of like what happens in the real world. So basketball has given you a ton of lessons. So can you like share like some highlight lessons that you learned from playing the game of basketball?
Some highlight lessons. So like a play that
Not necessarily a play. Like you mentioned one of them in terms of like never giving up and really seeing something through in order to develop the skills or the results that you want. That's one lesson.
Yeah, just lessons that you learned through your career so far.
oh, okay. Well, yeah, one of those lessons is not giving up, and I guess the lesson to just always like being in a gym and just
Always working on your
like
game.
like just understand like what you're doing. I started to get better at just understanding what I'm doing, because a lot of people, when they go through these trainers and they do these drills, they just do whatever the trainer tells them to do, but they don't really understand it.
What they
And,
need to work
yeah,
on.
they don't
Okay.
understand what the move actually does when you do it, right? Until you get to the point where you understand each move you're doing and how the defense work, it will open up a lot of stuff for you. So I got better at understanding how to like work out and play, and just watching lots of basketball and getting little tips in here from little IG clips.
Yeah.
If I see something, then I'm gonna save it and then do it later.
Yeah.
Pretty much just adding it to my resume, because there's a lot of cheat codes that some of these professional players be handing out, but it's like
If you don't understand
if you
the
don't
game,
understand it,
you won't pick up.
then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so me and Jelson had a discussion previous episodes in terms of like whenever we aspire to be like some people, like you mentioned, you're a big fan of Kobe Bryant and you model your game after. Some of the mistakes that we tend to make is that we copy everything about them and we sort of don't try to make it compatible to what our strengths and weaknesses are. So can you sort of explain like how you carefully modeled your game after Kobe Bryant without taking too much and still remaining you?
Well,
It's a good
this guy, Joseph already knows how I play.
Yeah.
What I took from Kobe was the Mamba mentality, obviously, but the most key thing was his footwork, and that's the one thing that a lot of people don't watch. They just see him just take a bunch of fadeaway shots. But
Yeah.
I'm actually watching how he gets open, watching how he creates space. It's all in the footwork. If you go and watch Kobe's like film, you just see how the way he works his foot, and then he's pretty much anticipating what you're gonna do already. Like, well, all his pump fake when he pump fakes, it's that he knows you're gonna bite on it already, and he's just setting up his next move.
And if you don't bite, he'll gonna do it again. Like he do like 1, 2,
Yeah.
3. The third one, that's when okay, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, but like me, I got the footwork, but I also model my game from like other players too, like Kawhi's defense, LeBron James's ability to see the floor and move the ball on the fast breaks and block shots. I'm really good at blocking shots too, like the timing. And I guess Steph Curry, the way he shoots the ball. I got better on like adding a little flick. I got a little tip earlier when you release,
A quick release.
make sure that these last two are the ones like you shoot.
Yeah.
It just makes it more accurate.
This two?
Just
This last two?
yeah, these two here, like when you shoot,
Okay.
like you're flicking it with these last two.
Do you like when you handle because me when I grab the ball there's always a space here. You leave that space here too? In between? Yeah. That's normal. That's more for a basketball player. I don't think you understand that. But yeah. But so like now getting close to the end, Murphy. So,
Before you get to that, I just wanted to know further plans. So you mentioned that that you also have interest in game development. How far have you taken that, and what are your plans with it?
Well, that program was pretty much like it says game development, but it's not just all about games. It's all about drawing. It's all about video, 3D modeling, video editing, sound. Like they give you different varieties,
Yeah.
and then towards the end of the semester or the year, you do a big project on what you're good at. So for me, I did a project on because I was really good at 3D modeling and kind of Illustrator. Well, Illustrator too, but I chose modeling because I felt like that was something that I kind of wanted to do. So I pretty much designed like a basketball stadium for my project, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's basically like an open course to find out where your true interests are, or where your strengths sort of lie best within, rather than just giving you everything and not really figuring out
Yeah.
what you really want to
So
do.
that program also has to do with creating like video games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So they teach you coding
coding.
and all
Okay.
that stuff. I think it's C++ and C sharp. That's all like languages that they teach you there. It's kind of hard to get into at first. You
Yeah.
gotta really take time and like understand the language.
So you consider like you actually like it?
I
You
like
fall in love?
I like the design aspect, but like the back end coding,
That's hard.
it's hard to get into,
Okay.
especially for
How long is that program?
It was 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Especially for especially for an athlete when most of your time you're in practice and traveling.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to find that time to like, work on it.
Yeah.
But I would always do it after class whenever I'm waiting for practice. I would,
Make time for it.
yeah, or just ask for help from someone who knows it kind of better and see if he can give me any hints.
Yeah. So Murphy, like going far, like now it's getting close to the end, right? So one question that I have in mind is like I really want to ask you, what is your plans for the next 5 years?
Uh,
Or what's your goals? I say, plan goals for the next 5 years.
so right now I haven't really planned for 5 years, but
Yeah. Or like
I've only
okay, well, let's just say,
ahead.
what do you see yourself in 5 years doing?
I see myself in 5 years having my own studio,
Yeah.
doing video editing, because I had this idea with my buddy that I'm working with right now. We're trying to have a studio where we have people coming in to make music or to make a video, movie.
Just creating, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just want to have that studio where we can just create, but at the same time I can have a side job where I can train, do basketball on the side, and coach too.
Okay, so
'Cause
you
I
don't
feel
really
like that's
see.
something I want to do.
So in these 5 years, you don't see yourself maybe playing maybe 1 or 2 years professional basketball.
Oh, for sure. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna like if things go well in Jamaica, I'm gonna carry on and see how far I can go.
That's what's up, bro.
Ooh, and
Yeah.
modeling too. That's what I was thinking of doing.
Yeah.
I was thinking of doing that when I was in Jamaica. I was like, imagine being a professional basketball player and then also having a modeling gig on the side. That'd be cool.
Yeah, bro. It's possible, man. You just gotta think. You just gotta
Yeah,
keep.
I gotta
you
do
gotta
my
think
research.
and put that into your goals, man.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because that can keep that alive, keep that your goals alive, your dreams alive, and meditate on that. You know, that could come to reality if you really want it to happen. Want to happen.
I enjoy doing that for sure.
Yeah.
I just gotta.
I didn't know you were
my
into
energy.
modeling though.
Oh, you don't see my pictures on IG?
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up, bro. But Murphy, man, I'm so honored, bro. I'm so happy that this is probably one of your first podcasts to be
Yeah, for
joined. Man, I'm so glad that you took the time. You're visiting the city, your city, otherwise finest, you know.
yeah.
Man, bro, your influence on me my influence on you. You know, you was my brother, man. Like when people look at us, they think you my big bro, but I'm actually your big bro.
Yeah, actually bigger.
Yeah, so man,
I learned from my OGs, man.
Yeah,
The
man.
real ones.
yeah, but like yo, just wanna thank you and keep being the man you are, the person you are, bro. Just always gonna stay connected forever, trying the
Always, man.
offense.
It's like you
And,
said. It's like you said earlier. How you keep your families close.
Yeah.
I keep my real friends close too.
That's what's up, bro. And you treat your friends like family.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So, thank you, bro. Anytime you come in the city, you want to come and being a guest on the
Appreciate
podcast.
you too, man.
Likewise.
It's
Yeah.
a pleasure.
Always.
Anytime, bro. You come through the city, or say, "Gee, I want to come on the podcast. Let's talk about this topic, or let's do this."
Always,
you know?
man.
Anytime, bro. You all come.
What
you
I
know?
always do before I get here, man. I message you. I message Big Pat,
That's it, yeah.
and like, yo, I'm gonna be in the city for this day,
Mm-hmm.
and this is like a month or two
And
before I
then
even get
we
there.
plan to connect, and meet and just enjoy, bro. Enjoying each other, you know. Yeah, bro. But anyway, so please like and share and subscribe. If you really like this episode, get somebody to share it to someone that maybe needs to hear this, to see and get motivated by Murphy's story. Anything else?
No, that's it.
And if you haven't met your boy already, you can follow me on IG,
Yeah.
King Bea24.
That's what's up. So IG, Facebook, King Murphy?
Just give me IG.
just IG. Okay, that's what's up, bro. But yeah, we'll see you.